Welcome back to the Roundrockville Tales YouTube channel. I'm Whatever Trevor, the author of A Roundrockville Tale, which I have some exciting news. As of March the 26th, 2026, my book is carried at Mosaic Books in downtown Kelowna. This represents the first retailer to sell my book on their bookshelves. Exciting news. It's growing. Loving it. Good fun. All right, back to the book. Page 31, Chapter 7, Preparing a Feast. The word of a feast traveled quickly around Roundrockville. Rocks abandon their regular daily activities and the whole town goes to work. A Roundrockville feast starts in the kitchen of the Emerald Tea Room. Rockzilla Rockstar, the head gardener, and her assistant, Barbara Brickenstein, consult with Brickenstein and Esmeralda Emerald. Esmeralda and Rockzilla finalized the menu. Then Brick and Barbara did their thing. Figured out the initial inventory and gardening needs for the feast. We have some tomatoes ripe and ready to crop, Barbara spoke with certainty. We can give you all the fresh herbs you required. Apples will have to come out of the stores. You should have enough cinnamon, but we'll refill the supply. Barbara was a lot like her brother. They both had excellent memories and sharp minds. I'll gather some fresh honey. Thanks, Barbara. I'll need some garlic, onions, and fresh parsley. Brick finished the garden list. More garlic, of course. Barbara never missed a chance to tease Brick. There are other ingredients, you know, not to mention your breath. Brick didn't miss a beat. Maybe throw some fresh mint on that list because I love garlic. Please, Barbara, don't get him started. Esmeralda interjected before it escalated. Did anybody get a chance to ask Linus what his favorite food is? Esmeralda showed her usual concern and awareness. It would be nice to give him some sort of treat tonight. Good thinking. Rockzilla always brought positive energy and enthusiasm. I'll ask Crystal to check in on Lumpy at lunch and find out. Barbara buzzed by Brick and stung his ear with a quick flick. See ya, bro. We're off. Gardening to do. Brick launched a cucumber slice just as Barbara flew out the door, Rockzilla behind her. You're lucky to have a brother. That's what you think. Barbara snickered a bit. I wasn't kidding about his breath, but I do love him. Rockzilla and Barbara rolled through the center courtyard. Crystal joined them, barefoot, wearing a light, flowing sundress and a wonderfully large hat. A lovely morning to garden, Crystal spun, her dress flowing around her. I do love feast day. We all love feast day. Barbara reached out and linked arms with Crystal. Feast days are the best. Rockzilla took Crystal's other arm. The three of them began to skip through the courtyard. Samuel S. Sandstone rolled by on his way to the Emerald Tea Room. Motherfucking feast day! Samuel spontaneously skipped as he passed the group of gardeners. Kitchen duty awaits! They giggled and continued down the old cobblestone path to the garden, lined with a variety of flora and spotted with grass that insisted on growing through. Rockzilla took note that the last of the strawberries were ripe. Crystal breathed deep and noticed the warmth of the earth under her feet. Barbara, as always, was enjoying the floral scents in the air. I'm off to the meadow to collect some honey. She skipped away. See you for lunch. Lunch, yes, that reminds me. Rockzilla stopped, turned 90 degrees, and pulled Crystal to face her. I have a mission for you. Oh, a mission? I'm intrigued. Crystal brought her shoulders up and skipped in place. Go on. What's my mission? I think you're going to like this. Somebody needs to see what foods Lumpy enjoys. Oh, yes, I can do that. Crystal's schoolgirl grin confirmed Rockzilla's suspicions. I knew you liked him. Now Rockzilla was grinning like a schoolgirl as well. Crystal rolled her eyes and lowered her head shyly. Well, yeah. Rockzilla gave Crystal a wink. Okay, well, at lunch, you go find him and see what he likes to eat. They turned and continued skipping. All right, let's get to work. Lots to do. Sir Reginald Roundbottom II, Reginald for short, and his son, Reginald Roundbottom III, Reggie for short, had been in the garden since breakfast. Reginald's favorite part of a feast day was the gardening. Putting his hands and feet on the earth was a welcome contrast to politics and governing. Reggie enjoyed the feast day because Crystal was also on garden duty. Reginald and Reggie were already weeding around a patch of ripe tomatoes. You feel that soil, son? That's the giver of life. Rockzilla bent down, grabbed a handful of soil. Well, that's soil and some hard work. Good morning, Mayor. Rockzilla dropped the soil. Hey, Reggie. She beeped Reggie's nose, leaving a little dirt mark. Reggie wiped at his nose. Hello, Rockzilla. Sliding past to reach out with a hug for Crystal. Good morning, Crystal. Are you excited for feast day? You bet I am. Crystal accepted the hug and briefly embraced Reggie. Okay, let's focus. Rockzilla took charge. Reggie, do you want to help Crystal pick berries? You bet. Reggie smiled up at Crystal. Crystal shot Rockzilla a really look. Rockzilla returned a yeah really look. First, pick the remaining ripe strawberries. Rockzilla walked over to a pile of baskets, picked some up, and dropped a pile at Crystal's feet. Then collect 3 baskets of Saskatoon berries. Walking over to Reginald, she dropped a couple more baskets. We'll need a couple baskets of ripe tomatoes. And remember, like this. Reginald reached over, gently grasped a ripe tomato, and gave it a quick twist off the vine. Thank you. Rockzilla placed a hand on Reginald's shoulder. Please, be gentle with my plants. I'm going to check on the grounds gang I'll grab a cart and take the stuff to the kitchen. On the way back, I'll stop at the greenhouse and pick all the herbs we're going to need. Reginald started picking tomatoes. Crystal and Reggie wandered off to the strawberry patch. Rockzilla followed the maintenance road. Stony Stonerson and Dr. Grant Granite rolled into the maintenance area and high-fived. Rocky Rockbottom loved having company on feast day. Feast day! Rocky did his best frat boy impression. Time for rocks to do rock things! Yeah, dude, I can dig it. Stony loved to slip in a pun. Dr. Grant Granite liked to cut loose on feast day. Oh yeah, yard gang assemble. It was his chance to be silly. Let's do some hard rock work. Plus, being a doctor in a small town can be pretty dull. Heads up! Stone Rock kicked a roof. Right past their heads. The gang was complete. With laughter, a spontaneous game of soccer broke out. Well, not really soccer. More like, try to hit your friend in the head with a root. Rockzilla was not surprised by what she saw. The grounds gang didn't hear her. They were too busy playing and laughing too loudly. Rockzilla walked over and waited. When she got her chance, she stepped forward and put her foot on the improvised ball. The grounds gang froze in unison, looked up at Rockzilla, and immediately stopped laughing. What are you children doing? Her tone was deliberately serious, somewhat motherly. Rocky, I expect... She couldn't hold the ruse. A grin cracked her face, and she giggled. Laughter erupted again. This time, Rockzilla joined them. She kicked the root just over their heads. That's enough of that. Save the fun for the feast. You have work to do. The group calmed down and circled in front of Rockzilla. What do you need, boss? Rocky had great respect for Rockzilla. Well, you have animals to feed and clean up after. You and Stony tackle that. Grant, we need 3 chickens and a pig brought to the kitchen ASAP. Rockstone, you give Grant a hand. There was a brief hesitation. Well, get to it. The grounds gang scattered, attending to their assigned tasks. Rockzilla grabbed a rolling cart and headed back down the maintenance road to the greenhouse. The preparation for the feast continued. Every resident of Roundrockville was busy preparing for the impromptu feast, except for one resident, the newest resident, Lumpy. While the Round Rocks bustled around getting ready, Lumpy enjoyed the best nap of his entire life. We'll see you next week for Chapter 8. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here.